this way. Thoughts are the clouds in the mind. Now the sky is the self. The vastness of the sky is your true self. And as of now, that sky is clouded by thoughts. And you have identified yourself completely with a cloud. Now you have identified with the type of cloud that goes by your name, your form, your actions, your behavior. And how have you gathered this cloud? By accumulation, by attraction. You started from a single point, a single dot. No form, no name, no place, nothing. Just a single speck of desire. That is the starting point of your life. Without desire, nothing would have happened. So that single point of desire started accumulating more and more thoughts, more and more thoughts. And eventually a day came when you were so heavy, that cloud has become so heavy that the sky is completely hidden. Now every question you ask about the cloud. Oh, what is the shape of this cloud? What is the color of this cloud? How much water does it hold? When you talk about enlightenment, you're really asking, when will this cloud evaporate and disappear so that I can see the sky? But it is still the cloud that is asking the question. And what is a cloud made up of? Only thoughts, nothing else. Layer and layer and layer of thoughts. So basically that's what your hand is. Your hand is a collection of everything it has done. So basically it has a memory of everything it has been doing. So that's what your hand is. Your body is an absolute memory, a reservoir of memory of your life. Now to really be able to understand what a thought is, you need to understand who you are. You need to understand that you are not a thought. You generate a thought. You play with a thought. You interact with a thought. And then you drop a thought. You move on to the next thought. But who are you? Right from your childhood till now, you've been interacting with thoughts. But you have not become those thoughts. If you think about it, you are still you. That sense of you has never changed, has it? When you were 5 years old, still you had the same sense of you as you have now. Have you ever woken up from bed and looked around confused as to who are you? It has never happened. Although you are in a way totally unconscious, you are asleep for 7-8 hours and you wake up and you perfectly know that it is you who has woken up. And you never get confused about you. You get confused about so many other things. You get confused about the way you look, the way you speak, the way you interact. You get sometimes confused about the way people interact with you, the way the world is made up, the way the world functions. You're confused about just about anything and everything. We can confuse you about anything, but not about you. You have never been confused whether you are you or me. That confusion has never arisen. You have never asked this question, am I Jacob or am I Terry? That question doesn't even arise. So that means there is something to you that doesn't get mingled with the thoughts and forget itself. There is a part of you that always remains independent of thoughts. Because if you were just a thought, then at least one day in your life, you should have forgotten who you are. Your identity should have intermixed with the thoughts and you should have been struggling to find out who you are. See, although now on the spiritual path you are still seeking who you are, but understand this, deep down you already know who you are. You're not seeking some identity. You already know this is who you are and you want to know what is that. You want to know the nature of the self. You're not seeking the self. You want to know the nature of the self. What is it made up of? What am I made up of? Just because thoughts gather and become a cloud doesn't mean that that cloud will generate self-consciousness. That is a completely wrong idea. Accumulation of thoughts is only a physical phenomenon. Thoughts gather, eventually that becomes the body, and finally that body dissolves and it becomes a part of existence again. It's the same process. You accumulate, then finally the body has to be given back to existence, everything merges. But in this entire process, the most important thing that we forget is the self that is gathering this and eventually letting go of this. And eventually to pick up another set of clouds. So it's a very fundamental question. When you ask what is a thought, you're asking what is life, what is existence, what is enlightenment, why am I here, what is the purpose of life. You're asking everything.